Woohoo! And we're live once again on another Tuesday. And I have a guest and friend and just the dearest, sweetest person. I think the last time we did a live, I was trying to think the last time we did a live, we were on the streets or we were in a restaurant in Birmingham. It was just like, it felt like so long ago. So maybe we've done one since then. I can't remember. But I am here with my dear, dear friend, Tiina Jarvet. And before we get stuck in with our topic today, Tiina, can you please tell people who you are and what you do, and then we'll start chatting.
Hi, Jillian. It's so nice to see you again. Thank you for having me on your new show. I work as a headhunter and a career coach in Belgium. I help companies find international talent, and I help people to find new jobs. So I've worked in the executive search industry for the past 2 decades, and I'm really passionate about helping people to be more visible on LinkedIn and putting their best foot forward.
I love that. I love that. And we're here today. Our topic is breaking barriers. LinkedIn recruitment advice goes Spanish. And this is a very special day today because you are launching your book, the Spanish version. So woo-hoo-hoo! I think I have some celebratory. I have hearts and I have balloons and I have all sorts of hearts and even some flowers for you, Tiina. So we have it all for you today because it's a very, very special day. So do you want to kind of like, so you launched your original book, which is how to be found by, oh my gosh, the title has gone out of my head. What is the original title in English?
Well, I have the English version here as well. So it's how to be found by recruiters on LinkedIn.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. And this is, of course, a few months later, and now it is the Spanish version. And of course, Tiina, you are known for speaking, is it 9 languages or growing? Are we up to 10 yet, or are you still at 9 languages?
Well, we never know, but funnily enough, Spanish is not one of the languages that I speak. So it's on my bucket list.
I love it. I love it. So I guess then we have to say, you don't speak Spanish. So why did you start with that was the very first language that you decided to have your book translated into?
Well, I was just thinking about the need, the global need, which would be the second language to translate it to, and Spanish was like a logical next step.
That makes sense. That makes sense because I know that, across the world, globally, so many people speak Spanish. So it's just like now it's so accessible to so many people. And one of the things I just love to point out about this book is that if anybody has seen the original of this book, and you should, because this is an amazing book, but you have all these little sketch notes. Am I getting it? Am I getting it close? There we go. You have all these little sketch notes in the book, and they were in English, but for this, you put the sketch notes in Spanish. And it's like, oh, I just so applaud you. Now that was hard. Talk. You don't have to say how you did it, but like, what were you thought of many different ways to do it before you came up with how you did do it in the book. So like, what were some of those things that like, okay, how am I going to do these?
Well, maybe the first step is because I don't speak Spanish, so I didn't translate it. So I used a company to do the translations for me, and I also asked them to translate the sketch notes, so the speaking bubbles into Spanish. So I thought of several options, like putting the translations next to it, which would have been the easiest way. But then in the end, they are integrated. So the people are actually speaking Spanish, which is so cute.
It's so cute. It's so cute. I absolutely love that. So when you decided to get your book translated into Spanish, you said you went with a company that did it. How did you even find a company? Like, did you already know them? Did you have to search for them? What was that step involved?
Well, it's actually thanks to LinkedIn. That's where LinkedIn is not only a career search platform or for people who look for new jobs. It's also for business development. So a translator approached me after he had seen that my book came out in March in Birmingham. The same day we were speaking at the Uplift Live conference. So he said that he had done a translation to somebody in my network. So that's how I popped up on his feed. So and we said, yeah, let's have a virtual coffee and talk about it, because I thought it's very important, because a book is like a baby, and I wanted to work with somebody who would be kind and take care of the baby. So and we had a conversation. He lives in India. He's Spanish national, and our values, the way he sees the world, I was like, this is a good match. So I very much enjoyed it, and the whole process of working with him. It was really. He delivered everything on a great time, and it was just a joy. So I didn't have to go chase him, like when you pay then the person disappears, nothing like this. So it was really an amazing experience.
That's wonderful. And do you know if, like, his process, do you know if the process was to use the paperback edition or the Kindle edition? Do you just, I'm thinking of other people of like, does your book have to be in a particular format for somebody to do that translation?
So it was Javier Prieto who translated it, and so it was a Word document that he used. Yeah, so it needs to be text. So not a book, but really a text document.
Wow. And then when he did the translations for you, I guess the Word doc, so you also had to send him all the pictures as well, the sketch notes. Were the sketch notes in the Word document, or was that like a separate group of files you had to send him as well?
That was a separate group of files, and some things some things mean different things, like have double meanings in English. So sometimes there needed to be extra explanation to it. And so we kind of worked it out together. And so he works with a team. So there is always somebody else proofreading, because when we write something or translate, it's always good to have somebody else to look at it again.
Absolutely. And then did he give you everything all at once, or it was like, okay, here's the inside, then I'm going to go and do the sketch notes? What was that process like?
I'm not sure if it was. I think they came quite quickly at the same time. So the book is 127 pages. So it went fairly quickly to translate it and also get the drawings to me as well.
I love it. And something special is happening today. You have like a little special thing you're doing in honor of your book launch today. So do you want to tell people about that?
Yes. So the book is available now on Amazon, and there is a special offer. So the Kindle version is downloadable, and you can get it for free today. So take the opportunity and get the book in Spanish. Give it away for somebody who might need it.
I love it. And of course, you can get the book is also available in paperback. And that's what I did. I actually went and got both editions of your book. So I have now everybody's seeing my whole Amazon thing today. But the nice thing is that you can get the book, and you'll get all the drawings are in the Kindle version as well. So I actually went and I took advantage of the Kindle offer today, but I already had the paperback edition, and I just absolutely love it. And I just can't think of, if anybody knows somebody and they're looking for a job, this is just an amazing book that will like really help them get their whole LinkedIn up together. And you just don't get better than free, folks. So it's just like getting the Kindle edition is on free. And a lot of things that people might not realize is that you don't have to have a Kindle to get the Kindle edition. So for instance, I can read this on my phone. I can read this on my iPad with the Kindle app, and you can also just read it on your computer screen. So, you can just read it, the desktop version. And they even have a little thing here that on the page, on the Amazon page, that says read on any device. So that's kind of cool as well. And we'll go ahead and drop the link to the book, because it's probably going to be a hard title to type in today, but you could type in Tiina Jarvet in Amazon, and then you're going to see that as well. So, but absolutely, everybody, take advantage of this book being available today for free, because that's just like, yay. That's so kind of you, Tiina. And how long is it free? Like just one day, tonight, just today, or what?
It's for 24 hours.
For 24 hours. Okay.
Yeah.
So basically everybody has today, and then I think till midnight tomorrow, Pacific time in the United States. So everybody figure out your time zones and get in and get it quickly, because I know you did it free for 2 calendar days, but you have to do it on USA Pacific time, which is kind of tough when you're where you are. So it's kind of crazy, but I just so applaud you for this, Tiina. Just an amazing accomplishment.
Thank you.
So why don't we go ahead and let's get some comments, and then we'll come back and we can talk a little bit more. So Tiina, here you are joining the conversation from YouTube, and that's always so fun. That's always so fun that like we got YouTube comments. Usually Jeff does our YouTube comments. You did our YouTube comments today, because we're streaming today on my YouTube channel, your YouTube channel, LinkedIn, and then I think your Facebook profile, your Facebook page, your Facebook profile. So anybody on Facebook, hello out there on Facebook land. We should have even brought in the Instagram people, but I don't know how to do that yet. So I'll do that another day. So Jeff says, Jeff Young is practicing his Spanish skills today. So he's saying hola, which is hello, to 2 of my favorite LinkedIn mavens, expert. You do it, Tiina. There we go. Jillian and Tiina, namaste. So now we have to find the Spanish version of namaste, so that maybe it's the same. That's awesome. I don't know. I don't know where I go with these things. We have Debbie here, Debbie Weems, my favorites too. Jeff Young, nice to see you. And we always love everybody saying hello to each other, because it's always a LinkedIn party. It's always a LinkedIn party. Can't do any of these. Tiina, you want to do this one?
He's saying, hola Debbie, ¿qué pasa, mi amiga?
And then, okay, now we got, okay, you're going to do all the foreign ones today, Tiina. What's this one?
Très bien, merci. Oops, wrong language. LOL.
That's Debbie coming in, and they're just so fun. And Tiina knows that, like, one of our jokes when we got to meet in England, and one of our jokes when we were walking around was I was going to a coffee shop, which I thought was called Pret Manger. And can you please tell people that's not what it was called? Pret Manger was not called Pret Manger.
I think they're referring to Pret à manger.
So I was just like the crass American, with my terrible accent. So always good. We have people with happy faces. We have the lovely Jane Eggers here today. Hi, Jillian and Tina, cheering us on. Another one of our Espresso Plus peeps and our, of course, Uplift Live peeps that we got to meet in person. So that was just a wonderful experience. Headhunter on your side. Say that in Spanish, Tina. Eek.
Yes.
Did you do it?
Oh, yes. I have it here in the book. Oh, it's so cute. Everything you say in Spanish, soy un cazatalentos a tu lado.
Wow. Wow. That's like totally different. I love that. Wow. You have to practice that. So you just
I have all the right answers here.
That's right. And I love it because it's like we can almost like read this book and it's like a really good way to learn how to speak Spanish because you can just like, oh, okay. And you can go back to the English version and it's like, okay, what does it say? What does it say? So, oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Headhunter on your side. And there we go. Can you try this one?
That's
it. That's it. Okay. See, I can't even tell. I can't even read it in English. I'm just absolutely hopeless. Debbie says, I love that Tiina Jarvet is not only unique with her ability to speak 9 languages, but her illustrations are fabulous. And they absolutely are. And I think what I love so much about your illustrations and your sketch notes in your book, Tina, is that it solidifies the learning. Like I know that like you have like summary points and for your chapters, and I know you have the stuff at the back of the book with like kind of reminders of like what was covered. But a picture truly is worth 1,000 words. So when we see those sketch notes, it absolutely, illustrates literally what you talked about. So I'm just so glad you.
It's really about taking the main thoughts from the chapter and put it in a visual way that you can quickly see what we spoke about and what is important. So you'll remember it easier.
I love it. I love it. And Lukamanu is joining us and he says, great story illustrating the power of LinkedIn. And absolutely. I love that you found your translator on LinkedIn. And that's good because then that the translator can envision your audience, which I think is really important when you're talking about books. It's like the audience, who is this for? And so having that all aligned together, that's incredible.
And it's very specific terminology as well. So if you don't know much about LinkedIn, it would have been very, very difficult to explain it.
Yes.
And get it right.
Yeah. Yes. And you know what? This is just something that I kind of never really thought of before. I just realized that when you are in a different country, because this didn't happen in Israel, and when I lived in Israel, there is no Hebrew version. That's not one of the LinkedIn languages. There's many, many LinkedIn languages, but in Israel, it was still in English. But when you're in other countries, this LinkedIn is everything in the other language.
Yes.
Like your menus and oh my gosh, it's like light bulb just went off for me. That wow. And of course are you seeing people's posts translated? What happens like if I'm posting and they're reading my post, do they have an option to translate my post to Spanish?
Yes.
Wow.
But it's not always accurate.
Okay. So that sometimes things truly do get lost in translation. So yeah, that's kind of interesting. And you know what? To be totally honest, I would imagine I'm not the only one that just realized that. I could be. It could be like 20 billion people on LinkedIn and then Jillian. So it could possibly be that. But that was just an aha for me that not only do people need to read this in Spanish because it's just more their comfortable language for them to read if that's your native language, but recognizing LinkedIn is different in different languages, that makes this book even more valuable, Tina. So, wow, light bulb. Light bulb. Wow. That's great. And that is here with us today. So excited, Annette Richmond. So excited to be here with two of my favorite people. Thank you for joining us, Annette. We just love you. We just love you. And Jeff says, Tiina sketches is a beautiful visual language all in its own. So there we go. You're up to 10 by now, Tiina. Just if you throw in your sketch noting, you're up to 10. You're up to 10. So that's just brilliant. So knowing that, you know, you did the Spanish version, do you think that there's more you'd want to do, and how will you make your decision moving forward about which ones you would do in your priority?
I think the priorities, next ones would be the ones where I can do the proofreading myself, because I can read a little bit Spanish, but I won't know if it's right or wrong. So I needed external help to do the proofreading as well. So I had a LinkedIn friend, Ilya Francis, helping me with that. So probably I would go for Portuguese, maybe French, Swedish, Estonian, but I'm not sure yet if I want to do another translation, because it takes a lot of work to do it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So it might have to be, you know, okay, you got to wait a while before you wouldn't want to be doing them concurrently, because, you know, that would be really hard. Is there one language? I would assume Estonian would be the one language that you could absolutely do it yourself, or would you still want to use an outside translator?
I think for Swedish and Estonian, I could do it myself. But I think it's easier if somebody else does it, because they are not emotionally attached to it. I think it would be easier, and then do the proofreading.
Yes. No, that totally makes sense.
And use my time for something more useful or more creative.
I love that.
Yeah, there are great translators out there, and they are wonderful.
I love that. I love that. Now, is there anything, one thing I did notice about the book, and of course, I don't have my English version with me, but I noticed that you had a dedication in here at the, on this first page.
Yes.
Can you read that? If you can't read it in Spanish, can you translate it for us in English? I'd love you to read it in Spanish if you could try.
Okay, we should have rehearsed.
I should have. Okay, you don't have to read it in Spanish. I'm sorry. I just absolutely threw this.
Necesitaron pronto este libro y as mis padres. So I can take the English version. So the translation sounds like, to my daughters, who will soon need this book, and to my parents.
I love that. I love that. And I love that you called them both out. And I remembered now, as you said it, I remember that the dedication in the English version was to your parents. And I just wondered if maybe it had changed, or if you said, nope, I'm not making, like, I'm absolutely going to take the English version. And that's probably a hard part about doing something like this, is you have to just stay true to what's in there. You can make some alters so that things don't get lost in translation. But like, if a feature changed, you're like, okay, I have to just ignore that. That's, you know, and of course your features are all up to date anyways. But I'm thinking of, you know, if you waited another year, maybe there's like a new thing, or this is moved over here or whatever. And you just have to almost just go, okay, it just.
And every language is special as well. So when you write in Spanish, you don't have the same amount of words in the sentence like you would have in English or in another language. So it's every language is special, and the way you explain it, and if it's more informal or more familiar. So yeah, translating something, you really have to have the feeling for the culture and the language.
I love that. I love that. And then over the summer, you have been traveling a lot. And as you've been traveling, you've actually been doing some stuff with your book, and I know that you did some training where you actually were able to do a training session impromptu, and you almost used your book as your presentation. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so during the summer, I met some Spanish people as well, and I talked to them about the new version that is coming out, and then I had no, I prefer the English version because then I can practice English. So it really depends on your needs, which version you want. So I'm good that people have. I'm glad people have the option to choose whichever is more interesting for them. The book is really there are some main things that the mistakes that most people make on LinkedIn when I see job seekers, and it's quite easy to do a presentation using the book and taking some chapters, and another person just messaged me that he will use some of the chapters for his presentation in October, because this is something that it's not common sense. It's really when you work as a recruiter, as a headhunter, you see those same mistakes occurring, and you can change them, and you can improve your profile and be found.
I love that. And to be honest with you, a lot of what's in the book you used in it as part of your Uplift Live speech. And so there you were launching your book on the day of your speech. So you were doing it all at the same time. And it was like, well, which came first, the chicken or the egg, the presentation or the book? And it was like you were kind of doing both at the same time, because I remember kind of like cheering you on every step of the way with both your talk and your book. And I'm envisioning now, I can just kind of see you now going out and doing your presentation to a Spanish speaking audience, maybe doing your presentation in English, but having slides that could sometimes be in Spanish, sometimes be in English, and how that would be wonderful, because you now have all those drawings in Spanish as well. So that's kind of exciting. You could now have a whole PowerPoint presentation with your drawings in Spanish.
Yeah, and it was the same drawings that I used during the keynote speech as well in UK. So it, and like I said, what came first, the egg or the chicken, or sometimes they came hand in hand. So it's really one thing inspiring the other, and you can use them to really explain the concepts in a simpler way, and in a way that people know it's me who has drawn them.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And I see a question that came in from Annette. Which language would be the best to translate into if you could only choose one? So I guess if you, I'm not sure. So answer it both ways. One, if you didn't speak the language, like if you were just saying, if you had to translate a book into any, what is the best language? Oh, she's clarifying. Okay, thank you, Annette. Love the idea that they come hand in hand. So I guess the question is, which language would be the best to translate into if you could only choose one? So,
oh gosh, that's a difficult
that's a
one.
good question.
That's like asking which one of your daughters you like the best. It's like or the languages. I love all the languages that I have learned. So for me, probably it would be Estonian would be the easiest because it's my mother tongue, and then Swedish because it's my second mother tongue, and then it's always easier to translate from another language into your mother tongue. That's what people do. So
that makes sense. That makes sense. And I'm wondering if too, if you actually, I don't have this answer, but I'm just wondering if we looked at the population of the world, or even if we looked at the population of LinkedIn, and we said, what is the number one language of everybody other than English? Like if you took English out of the equation, what is the next most biggest population of a second language on LinkedIn. I don't know if you know that, but that would just be, do you know
I
that,
think
by the
it
way?
would be Spanish.
It would be Spanish. Okay. Okay. That makes sense. So your book is perfect. It's absolutely perfect. It's absolutely perfect. And look at that. And that says, yes, that's it. That's it. That's it. So I love that. Okay, so Tiina, we have come to the end of our LinkedIn Live today, and it's just always wonderful to have you again. Congratulations on everything. So, is there any final words of wisdom you want to share with us before we go?
I want to thank you for starting this new show about books, because it was my dream to write a book, and you were there supporting me every step of the way. And without your help and from the LinkedIn tribe, this book would have never seen the light of day. So you don't have to do it alone. Reach out to Jillian and team Whitney. I'm so grateful, and you're so empathetic and supportive and have so many technical skills. So it was a really wonderful experience, because there are many people who start writing a book and 15 years later it's still there in the drawer. So I'm happy the book came out, and that people can read it and take action in their lives.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And I think I'm just so happy to see all the people that your books are helping, so whether you get it in English or whether you get it in Spanish, it's like you have now just like leveled the playing field for so many people who are especially job seekers who need to get on LinkedIn. They need to know what they need to do, what are the right things. So they're getting in here and being visible. So that's just wonderful that you're doing that. So I so adore you, Tiina. You're just amazing. And how generous of you to offer this book for free. So thank you so much for that. So please, everybody, one last time, go to Amazon. We'll put the link in. Get this book today. Get this book today. Get the free version while you can. I think it's just awesome that you're doing it. So, okay. Thank you, Tiina, for being here. Thank you for everybody who tuned in today, and we'll see you all next time. Thank you for people who are joining the podcast, and we will see you next week. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.